Hello everyone. Today we will talk about aggregation and paths in DSpace, specifically for digital cultural heritage material. At For Science, we developed an extension specifically for digital cultural heritage material with the goal of making your digital library more engaging and user-friendly. With DSpace-GLAM, we enhanced the data model in order to provide further tools not only to create object relationships, but also to create aggregations and cultural paths in order to present the same digital objects in a different way, in order to inform, if needed, new audiences about our cultural heritage. One of the goals of digital libraries is to be able to present the same contents according to different declinations and different perspectives. And for this reason, we implemented in our data model a new concept, the aggregation. The aggregation is a way to group different contents according to whatever variable the digital librarian would like to underline to present the contents according to different perspectives. The aggregation is a hierarchical concept allowing to aggregate the contents, assembling and disassembling them according to different point of views. For example, in this slide, you see that I have organized the buildings related to the Byzantine archaeology and history, putting them in relationship with the patrons who promoted these buildings. And so I have created this hierarchical structure in order to create a relationship on a different level compared to the relationships between places and events, places and people, and so on. So in this way, I can link all these buildings that are maybe located in different places with patrons that maybe have lived and worked in different cities, and the possibility of creating hierarchies, it's very useful to create these views at different levels. The same feature can be used in a totally different way, for example, to map the collection articulation within an organization. So you can use the aggregation in order to map the cultural heritage, dividing the different document types belonging to the different departments. So, for example, I can divide documents belonging to the Department of Manuscripts from the one related to the Humanities Library. In this way, I can use this tool to present my content in different ways, because each item can belong to multiple aggregations. And so each object can be presented in a different way on the aggregation which is connected. In this way, the logical views that the digital librarian can structure are virtually infinite. So it can continuously rearrange his content to present them under a different point of view. In the same scenario, we can also include the cultural paths. Cultural paths have been created to tell stories. Paths are the DSpace object that can group different object types like documents, photographs, people, event, and so on, in order to use both images and textual information to tell a story. These stories can be of different types. We can have and we can use cultural path to describe historical contexts. We can use cultural path to describe itineraries or digital exhibitions. And it's very easy with our DSpace extension, DSpace-GLAM, to create path relating different entities, and the added value is the interaction between text and digital resources, which make it possible to build real narratives around the cultural heritage. Now let's go to our demo to experience some cultural paths. Let's start from a cultural path that I have created. Here you can see that we have many cultural paths, and here in the top bar I have the news section of the digital library, which is another way for highlighting the contents, and I have created a news related to the Los Alamos National Library with a brief description of the laboratory, and then if I click on view more, I am redirected to the path related to the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project, which led to the creation of the first atomic bombs. Here we can see how is the path articulated. We have a brief description of the project, and then we can navigate among the digital resources related to this path. For example, we have a person related to this path, which is Richard Feynman, which was one of the youngest physicians included in the Manhattan Project. And we have some biographical details, and we can, using the See More button, reach the form with biographical details about Richard Feynman. We can also find a book related to Richard Feynman, which talks about the Manhattan Project as well. And we can proceed with our cultural path and find a book from Robert Oppenheimer, who was the chief's leading director of the Manhattan Project. So we can go and click on the page related to this book, collecting letters from Oppenheimer, and moreover we can proceed and go to the biographical form of Oppenheimer. And using these relationships we can add further resources to this path, using the field included in the submission form to add new items to this path. We can also see another cultural path, which is the one related to the flagellation of Christ. If we enter this path, we can see a brief description of the painting, and then we can navigate among the people related to the painting. And we can then go to the biographical form of the person related to the cultural path. In this way, it's very easy to create new narratives, grouping the digital library documents in different ways that can be then displayed on the home page. In this way, the home page becomes not only a starting point, an entry point for the digital library, but becomes a way to illustrate and highlight the main contents of the digital library, but also the contents that are hidden within the repository can be highlighted in a better way, so that audiences that are not aware of the existence of such contents in the digital library can be able to find them in an easier way. The goal is always to enhance the audience of our digital libraries, because our digital libraries survive if the people are interested in them. Let's go back to our presentation. Here you can find the same cultural path I have already explained on the live demo. So, as you can see, you can navigate the events, the people related to the painting, and then when you arrive on the painting, you're able to analyze also the annotations that have been included in the Mirador viewer. Indeed, if you open the Mirador viewer, you can explore the annotations related to the interpretation of the different characters displayed in the painting. In this way, the digital library becomes a way, a tool, also for teaching purposes, because professors at different school levels can use the digital library to analyze and share their analysis, in this case of the painting, with their students. So, aggregations and paths extends the DSpace ability to build relationships. Here we have another example, the Justinian mosaic in Ravenna, which is connected with the person Justinian, and of course the city of Ravenna, using direct relationship. But it is also connected to other Ravenna art assets, using the path, and with other art assets in Ravenna and elsewhere, using the aggregation. In this way, we can see that with this kind of data model, we can create relationships at different levels and allowing to analyze the documents from different point of views. This type of data model will help to develop a more engaging, user-friendly digital library that will allow people to explore, study, and visualize our digital content in a better way, both from the user perspective but also from the administrator perspective in the administrator side of the digital library. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that this video was useful. If you have more questions about For Science, DSpace, DSpace-GLAM, DSpace-CRIS, and our services, contact us by email at info@forscience.com or visit our website forscience.com. Thank you again, and I'll see you into the next video.